Good day.
Salve, Domina.
Are we ready, Legate? The men are hungry for battle. We will make him proud, and teach these Egyptians a lesson they'll never forget.
The artillery is in position, and the Legion is mobilized. The time to strike is now.
I don't think he's likely to. Ptolemy possesses the worst combination of pride and foolishness. He'll stand and fight.
Still, we should take care of that loose end personally.
Extracting him safely should not pose a huge challenge. The assault itself will be a massive distraction.
He's smart enough to hide when the attack begins. Once everyone's dead, we can extract him safely.
Precision is difficult to achieve, even with the most advanced of siege weaponry. But our catapults will be aimed at the gates and the palace. I hope we can avoid too much collateral damage.
Unless we're walking into a trap.
If their trap depends on their palace being besieged, I will go out on a limb and say we'll be fine.
The best method of uncovering a trap is to spring it.
That is surprisingly accurate, but also typically reckless, Bestia.
All right. This will be the end of a glorious campaign. Meet us in Alexandria when you are ready.
Guess we'll be hitting Alexandria soon.
I'm gonna set fire to the library.
What? Why?
Let's be real. History will not remember me for anything good. You don't want to be remembered as the man who burnt down the Library of Alexandria.
Maybe I'll race you to it.
defend the Pharaoh with our lives.
That can be arranged.
We must make quick work of this lot. The Pharaoh awaits us past the courtyard ahead.
Let us see if they fight as well as they dress.
I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them.
Let's band together and move.
I've got this direction covered. Bill.
Let us move. Howl like the dog you are.
Please follow my finger. Yes, you'll be all right.
May your birthday invigorate you.
Heart and run!
That was a lot. I can't believe we made it!
We only have garden. Do not celebrate prematurely.
Push forward to the inner courtyard. Don't give them time to regroup.
They're here! Please don't hurt me!
Stop them! Protect me! Do not let the Romans reach the throne room!
Run, you dog! We're coming for you!
This is it? I expected more guards, poor Pharaoh.
Don't jinx it.
I see the enemy! Cross that line, and I will send you to the underworld. I'll shoot as soon as I see the enemy! Cross that line, and I will send you to the underworld. Ha! I'm covering this angle. Do we need help, warriors? We shall fight together.
Well done! You went right past this guard!
Stop them together! Cross that that line, and I will send you to the underworld. I'm covering this angle. Ha! I'll shoot as soon as I see the enemy.
Found the battle, it seems. Let's show them what we've got.
too easy.
Get in formation! Romo in Victor!
I want to die for the pleasure of Anubis and that. Judge me fairly at the tide is turning. Fight for your lives!
You walked right into that.
I'm covering this angle. I'll shoot as soon as I see the enemy.
So weak.
too young for a journey to Doat. We are the messengers of Montu, and we bring death.
Legate, reinforcements. 12 galleys are entering the harbor.
What did I tell you, Bestia? You jinxed it.
I did no such thing.
Wait, whose galleys? That's an important question.
Certainly not ours, and Alexandria's fleet is already engaged. That leaves Vitellius Lorco.
Great. Perfect. Marvelous.
Welcome, mortals. Welcome again to our magnificent palace. Care for some refreshments? Then you will wait a long time, Roman. We enjoy your company, you know. We actually quite like Romans. Unfortunately, you chose to side with our disobedient and treacherous sister. And for that, you both deserve to die. A fitting term. As you say, you are mere mortals. And we are not.
Marlem, I knew it.
You Romans are so naive.
Well, this isn't exactly unexpected. Orders, Legate?
We can try, but it will not be easy. They vastly outnumber us.
Come, I know what we must do. Follow me for the Pharaoh.
Hold on, I'm taking the long way around. Hold the line, I'll get behind them. It's too much, we're losing.
too easy.
Salvete, Legionari. Looks like you've got yourselves into some trouble.
Marlem, this is the perfect moment to get rid of us. I must hand it to you.
Does that girl always speak out of turn, Legate? Do try to control her while we save your lives.
You're here to help?
Of course. What did you expect? We would never allow the killing of Romans.
Mirko, in our darkest hour you betray us? As the gods bear witness, the treachery of Romans knows no bounds.
Be quiet, you melodramatic effigy of a pharaoh.
I want to die for the
By the Pharaoh, have you lost your mind?
My heart hangs heavy. I'm going to have you flogged. Attack the enemy, not me.
The tide is I'm going to have you flogged for that. Yeta, you're the descendant of 1,000 pharaohs. Sekhmet's blessing be on you. then.
Who's there? Get away from me!
Help me with this!
Come on! We have to do something they won't expect! Howl like the dog you are! I won't die for the pleasure of pharaohs.
I won't die for the pleasure of pharaohs.
We're surrounded.
man for himself! It is too much!
Shit in all your father's tombs!
We can still win this, can't we?
Leave me! I'll hold them off! Who's there? Get away from me! Fall back! We're all gonna die!
Must I win this by myself? Fine.
Why didn't I stay in Rome? Why?
What is going on? Come on! Just fight!
They're everywhere!
Go more left!
Look at you, darling. A pharaoh on his knees is not fit to be a pharaoh at all. At least you are where you belong.
You are the disgrace of our family, an affront to gods and the people of Egypt. And now you get your own husband killed by the hand of a foreigner. You can't even do it yourself.
A queen should not soil her hands with the blood of cowards. I'm sorry, but there will never be peace in Egypt while we both live. He must die. I do like it when you stand up to me. Have it your way, then.
Well, I guess that concludes our business.
Lunia, what are you doing here?
I have some unfinished business I need to attend to. And it concerns you, Your Highness. We have finally reached the end of our uneasy alliance. Unfortunately, it will end with your death. On the contrary, I think it's a very Roman thing to do. I may be acting immorally, but it's only so others won't have to. Look where we are. You have conquered Nazamenes and Egypt. Why leave a queen in charge? You know she will eventually betray you. She just helped you against her own brother. If you're not going to do it, I will. We've had this conversation before. If Cleopatra becomes the queen of Egypt with the help of Nazamenes, she will eventually end up ruling our land. We will not be a part of Rome as I envisioned it. Getting rid of her is the only way. If that's what you wish.
Interesting development. While we're getting rid of loose ends...
Wait! Stop!
Wrong. He was our prisoner, and I saw fit to execute him. You can direct your complaints to Vitellius Lurco.
I think we should get Tranquillus and leave quickly. It seems Lurco's men are getting rid of loose ends.
Salvete, are you looking for a book?
Claudius Tranquillus. He's dead.
There is a consequence for every action and inaction. Unfortunately, I could not save this old man.
You're not fooling anyone. You murdered Tranquillus.
What possible motive could I have? Your accusation is ridiculous. With what? Look, I'd love to stay and chat with you, but I have duties elsewhere. Now that this Egypt matter seems settled, it is time for us to pack up. See you in Rome.
Away, Legate! Your home welcomes you and both of your victorious legions. Death comes to us all eventually. All we can do is delay it. Sometimes not even that is possible. Leave ambition to my brothers. This is a comfortable post close to home and well paid too. I'm sure you have a lot of things to discuss before you disband. Let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Last time we stood here with a legion, we had Lucullus with us. I know he was your Patronus, but the man was like a father to me. We will. I will. I hate to be back in this shithole of shit. To you, probably. You're back home as a victorious commander, and I'm back home as... not myself. I don't know yet. There's a lot I need to take care of. I'll let you know if I suddenly turn into a damsel in distress. I'm not really sure about that. We have denied Lurko the control of Egypt, but we also made him look like a hero. Let us hope you're right, for everyone's sake.
Is it time? I've told you before. It is this idleness that bothers me. Can't we just quickly go in? I have things to do. Only if it leads to something. I don't like standing here and wasting time. I'll take it easy. This campaign made me realize there is a lot to learn. And while Sinaros is a great magister, it is impossible for him to teach me everything. But he said if he teaches me how to fish, my problems will be solved. Perhaps I misunderstood. I am already skilled at fishing. But Magister rarely turns out to be wrong, so I am intrigued. Of course, what's not to like? We are the scourge of Egypt. We have slain all of our foes. They shall sing our names for years to come. I know you are not entirely happy about being saved by Lurko. Do not worry, though. Vengeance will be ours. Patience is the sharpest weapon of a hunter. And strike when the time is ripe.
Recent events are making me think about the way we're approaching our long-term problems. No matter what we do, our opponent seems to retain the upper hand. This is the second time he's accomplished the same trick. I think we now know the way he plays the game. We're clearly not playing by the same rules. It's for this reason that the game is not fair. We stop playing fair. Consider the Rubicon. No legatus is allowed to keep their command inside the Pomerium. The Legion shall always disband here, beyond these predefined borders. So it is written, so it shall be done. It doesn't matter why the rule exists. All that matters is that everyone obeys it. And because everyone obeys it, it exists. That makes us predictable. This is how Lurko always wins. He knows what our possible moves are, so he prepares himself accordingly. He plans for both outcomes and controls the result either way. Now, consider the results of a commander crossing the Rubicon with his legion, ignoring the ancient law and the tradition. Certainly not. I was simply using as an example the absurdity of the notion, and the fact that Rome would be helpless against such a legion were it to just march through. Lurko exploits our adherence to established norms and patterns. As long as we're playing the same game, he wins. It is an idea worth considering, but we should be careful about it, lest we become predictable in our rule-breaking. My frail bones are in dire need of warm water and a well-executed massage, but I also have an interesting meeting to attend. A fine, benign lie. The weather in Egypt did not really agree with me, I'm afraid. And coming back to this humidity is not helping either. When your body starts to protest against all climates, it may be trying to tell you something. You're old. Go to the bathhouse. I'll be back as soon as I finish my business. Egypt represents a clear victory. With Cleopatra out of the picture, the Senate can surely be persuaded to grant rulership of the area to you. I do think he will try to present our victory as his, thereby solidifying his claim for consulship. It is unlikely they would let him have Egypt, though.
Let's get this over with. Where to even start? I served with Lucullus for the majority of my life. In a way, he turned me into the man I am today. In return, I caused his death. He would have been alive today if we hadn't delayed our departure for the sake of fixing my mistakes. Nothing but a disappointment. And you are more of a sibling to me than my own little brother. It is comforting to know I have never disappointed you. But somehow I feel like I failed in that big quest that is my life. I should have been more important, more significant. Who's to say that I'm not? Lucullus certainly didn't see it coming. Probably, but not for the reasons you might think. You think I'll go there and drink myself into a torpor? Let's just say I have an outstanding debt. The kind you can't pay back with denarii. It certainly ended better than it started. It's a shame the Queen did not survive. Nevertheless, I wish we were able to save Lucullus. If only we had departed a day earlier. You're probably right. Still, that makes me wonder. There's something I need to handle now that we're back. I may call on you if I need your help, but hopefully it won't come to that.
I cannot go back to guarding your villa. There is important thing I must do. Sorry. I need to find man who killed my sister, Silvius. Habron said he is important member of Collegium Bacchus. If he is not here, he has cause to return at least. And when he does, I will be waiting. I am not sure yet. I will see what he does when he is found. It is best to not involve you, but thank you for offering. I will.
Time to disband, Legate? You will always be a warrior at heart. Now it's time to be a citizen.
Good morning, Domina. You spent longer than usual getting ready today. It is wise to allow your body some time to heal. Fortunately, there are a lot of mundane, everyday tasks for you to take care of today. We have some outstanding debts. There's the issue of inheritance. The kitchen needs to know what you wish to eat today. Finally, the wine you have ordered has arrived. The mourners, they require their due payment. Additionally, one of them has severely injured herself during the funeral. She is in need of medical attention. She tore her own hair off. Unfortunately, it turns out her hair was rather sturdy. Consequently, she partially scalped herself in the process. Professional work ethics. I guess she overcommitted. I shall do as you wish. A slight understatement. His library and his 2 summer villas belong to you now. But the rights need to be officially transferred, and therein we run into some problems. Despite your station as the owner of this villa and as a temporary head of this family, you can't acquire additional property. Lucullus anticipated this and left everything to your husband. You may want to change that. Having a husband would eliminate a lot of potential problems. A sensible thought, Domina. It is boar season. We should buy a few and keep them in stock. Flavius says the mussel harvest was pretty good too, if you fancy seafood. Last but not least, I can order a variety of fruits for you. It will prove to be a good investment. Indeed? I was wondering about that. I assumed you were sampling the competition. Well, they have brought it to the study. We shall inspect the item. Perhaps it was intended for someone else. That never crossed my mind. I apologize. I'll bring your arms at once.
Domina?
Is everything well, dear?
I expected a slightly warmer welcome. I assure you there is no need for you to brandish that knife. Someone you prefer to see in my stead? The pleasure is all mine. I do owe you an explanation. Well, Legate, or should I call you Legater? Evidently an oversight. You have aptly displayed the necessity for it. I've come to visit you out of curiosity. In my experience, curiosity is rarely dangerous on its own. The danger comes from what you do with the knowledge. Your reputation preceded your arrival in Rome. Both optimates and populares were intrigued by the deeds of this mysterious protege of Lucullus. A prime candidate for senatorship, some said, while others saw you as a potential foe. None expected you to be a woman. I had my suspicions. Shall we talk in a more private setting? I'm rather tired of standing around. Nothing could be further from the truth. I enjoy seafood if I have the option. I've heard a lot about your mother's cooking. Humor and honesty. How refreshing. May I ask you a question? Why do you do all of this? Your personal problems were solved after the Asia campaign. Why risk everything again in Africa? You could have stayed home. Loyalty is an admirable virtue. One must also be loyal to oneself, though. You are not a servant of Lucullus. And you were ethically obligated to help. I wonder what you would have done if you were not. And after all of this is done, what would you like to do, ideally? Compassion combined with a profound lack of imagination. Sometimes I forget you're a woman after all. I will not mince my words. This is a man's world, but I believe that can prove to be an advantage for you. I'm pretty sure many people had their own assumptions based on their rigid minds and thoughts, yet you have changed the expected course of events. It is intriguing. I can't even begin to guess how many secrets you're still keeping. Assumptions are dangerous. They tend to mislead people. I'm very much interested in finding out more about you. Shall we continue this conversation over dinner? I'm famished. This food was... how shall I put it? I'm struggling to find the most suitable adjective. Corrosive? You mean to say I've no one to blame but myself? That's fair. Your wine rivals the one I bought, though. You really should consider getting more serious about the wine business. It's getting late. Your Zoe seem tired and you look ill at ease. What's on your mind? Only dishonest people are nervous in my presence. Are you dishonest? I was never one for vapid chatter and shallow flattery. I apologize if I've come across as stiff. I will take your advice to heart. Here's my first offer. I think we shall finish this flask in a more private setting. I'm sure there's a lot more you can show me. I always intended to. Just waited for an opportune moment. I have thoroughly enjoyed this day, and I would like to repeat it ad infinitum. So I have a proposal. You have displayed your aptitude for command and politics, and I admire your personality. But whatever your plans are, they will be difficult to bring to fruition as a woman. Certain things cannot legally be done by you. Ordinarily, an honorable man would not exploit such hardships, but few men are honorable. People are sure to interpret your situation as a weakness and take advantage. I am an honorable man. I think we can make a good couple. Will you marry me? I'll take care of the arrangements tomorrow then, and make sure you retain everything you naturally have a right to retain. And then there's the issue of the wedding ceremony.
Good morning.
We are being summoned to appear at the court. You have committed a criminal offense, or so they claim. Both things can be true. Our actions sometimes cause harm to society, yet we may be unaware. Or perhaps you're being wrongfully accused. Only one way to find out. Someone must have suffered because of something you did. Frankly, there's no way to know unless we visit the magistrate. If we want to defend ourselves, certainly. To be technical, they cannot reach a decision in our absence. But lately, they have started interpreting silence as acceptance. I say it is best to be on the safe side. It is best not to ignore these things. The court may think of your silence as an acceptance of guilt. If you find yourself near the forum, you should talk to the magistrate. I will meet you there. It is irrelevant. A relationship with Cato could only serve you well. If you want to remain in the political game, you need a husband. I know you think so, but this is the way Rome works. You can only get so far by resisting its rules. Despite all of our efforts, he did really position himself well politically. I would not be surprised to see him become a consul soon. Then we should get ready for a disaster of epic proportions.
Do you need me? Domina? Our personal supply of Darky's Rose is almost depleted. Shall I send for a few more barrels from the vineyard? If we have any left, it is becoming a rare commodity these days.
Salwe, I see you're on your way out. Glad I caught you. I wish I could say I was just dropping by for a cordial visit. However, I was in fact asked to come here by your friend. Yulia Callida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Hercules! What have you done? Silvius!
Who are you? Why did you kill that man? I assure you I do not. Why have you come here? Well, that does not sound like something I would do. How long ago was this? The Senate has outlawed our gatherings, it's true, but only because they don't understand. They've given in to populist sentiment and slanderous rumors, that's all. Nothing we do here is wrong. We're just a group of regular citizens who gather regularly to enjoy the finer things in life. Nobody is hurt, I swear on Juno Caprotina. The women are here by their own choice. Listen, I'm certain we can come to some sort of agreement. You are bereaved. Do you seek compensation? Get your hands off me!
The bitch killed Silvius! She's mad! Stop her!
You want to try me too? I will kill you all if I must. Why you are still standing?
be done with this. I would never. Find your clothes and get out.
Did you hear? We have taken control of Egypt. If you ask me, it was long overdue.
Now, if the bread continues to be stale, we have only our own bakers to blame.
Free medical advice. Salve legate.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitellius Lurco's ships.
How did they manage to take the city?
The ships arrived just in the nick of time. Apparently the legions were nearly routed.
There was a great fire yesterday in the Lowlands. 5 buildings burnt. 2 of them were completely...
I ordered 5 sacks, and you delivered 4. I sent my apprentice off with 5 sacks. 5 is what you received.
He was there...
Salve, Domina. How can I be of assistance?
I am saying you got the sacks you paid.
That's right. Do you know my father?
Give me the 5th sack now, or neither I nor
Oh, that's right. He's told us a lot about you. Please wait here. I'll go get him.
Legate, it's good to see you out of your uniform again. How is civilian life treating you this time? Indeed I have. My family must eat. She is the youngest of the clutch. I tell her she should find a nice rich patrician boy to marry, but she insists she enjoys helping me sell what I make. It has been better, but it has also been worse. There will always be people in need of horseshoes and kitchen pots. Only the best things. You are held in great esteem in my household. For you, it would have to be something prestigious. Tell me, have you heard of a parazonium? The very same. You have managed just fine through 2 campaigns without it, but if nothing else, I'd say you've earned the right to wield such a blade. What say you? I can sell you one that you'll be proud to show off. It's a symbol of prestige more than anything. Jewelry for a great soldier. To tell you the truth, I have one almost finished. It was ordered for the scion of another patrician house who was going to be a tribunus under Crassus. The young fool bedded the wrong girl and was stripped of his military commission, and the order was cancelled. If you'll wait for an hour, I will personalize it for you and finish the work. Ah, good, you're back. The parazonium is finished. I engraved your initials on the hilt and got it nice and sharp for you. A well-tempered and carburized blade, if I do say so myself. In a manner of speaking, as long as the men believe it, they will fight all the fiercer when you are near. Thank you, but it's not for sale. If you ever go to war again, I'll be with you. But here in Rome, I prefer my freedom. It was good to see you again, Legate. But if that'll be all, I must get back to work.
You look like you've been sleeping poorly. Is something wrong? It's kind of...
Finally! Macasta! I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
That's right, you told me...
There she is, the woman of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know?
Apollo Medicus tonight.
Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Not by choice. But I was pretty, I guess. And that represented a political opportunity for my father. He never liked the fact that I was interested in men's things. He thought marriage would, in his words, tame me. As if I'm a wild animal needing to be domesticated. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I wish I could tell you he died for a better reason. That he was a criminal, or that it was some grand conspiracy, or even just that he was hitting me. But his cruelty was of a much more insidious sort. And to the people of Rome, his was a perfectly acceptable way to treat his wife. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias, after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... pretty much. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Kikoro to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult.
Maybe you're right. But then I will be on the run for the rest of my life.
A great deal. You would be in my debt. It's a very complex case, and success is not guaranteed. I admire your loyalty. In a few years' time, I plan to run for consul. You will have to contribute a great deal to my campaign to pay me back for this.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Yulia Kallida the warrior, and Yulia Kallida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
An auction of fine Serwe will be held tomorrow by the House of Erasinus. Learned Greeks captured in the war against Mithridates. Strong-backed workers from Hispania and Mauritania. Erasinus has Serwe for every budget.
Awe, thank you for coming. Hopefully this matter will be resolved quickly. An admirable quality fit for a true Roman. This is about your servus, Secundus. It seems that last night he got quite drunk. In his intoxicated state, he got into a fight with another servus.
With all due respect, Domina, that's hardly the most relevant question we can ask here.
On the contrary, it's actually a surprisingly relevant question. Not only did he win, he broke the other man's arm.
Oh.
He's your servus, is he not? His actions fall under your purview and responsibility. It is not my place to tell you how you should handle your serwi. I am not a censor. Nevertheless, the punishment of your servus is not the topic of this hearing. There's not much to say. The evidence is irrefutable. The other servus was severely injured, costing his dominus valuable labor. Furthermore, there are criminal charges. This kind of violence is not to be tolerated. The sentence for the first offense will be monetary. In total, this means you will have to pay 200 denarii to the offended dominus and 100 denarii to the state. Do you contest this ruling?
This is ill-advised.
On what basis are you contesting the ruling? Well, it is a relevant question, actually. Witnesses claim there was a heated exchange and some distasteful claims about the profession of your mother. No matter what the reason is, there is loss of labor. Perhaps some damage was still caused. There's nothing to be gained by resisting legal institutions. Well spoken. You clearly have a good understanding of how the legal process works. Enough talking. My decision is made. You've made a good case, and your arguments are solid. I can't ignore the damage your service has caused, but you will receive a reduced sentence. This time.
A champion fight will occur on the nones of this month between the legendary gladiators Carpophorus and Garnicus. This entertainment is provided for all the good citizens of Rome by the...
I must hire 6 servi to take an ox cart to Suessa and pick up a mill grinder.
That's a 6-day trip. That'll cost you 72 sestertii.
When can... they leave?
In 2 days? I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Judex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Khalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Nevertheless, that was the outcome.
Intentions do matter. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your client isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Is that why you killed him, dear?
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. And your legatus is using you. What's the difference?
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Judex to take into consideration that my Cleons was once a friend of your nephew, Julius Caesa.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Julia Khalida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt, and doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will try to remember that. Wale, sister.
The great Gaeso Quinctius Aquilinus. Your reputation precedes you. They tell me you're here on business. So, let's discuss business. Indeed. I think I know who you're talking about. You seem to have an inexplicable soft spot for this girl. Curiously, I don't think you even know her name. I see. That sounds very important indeed. She must be quite valuable to you. This sets the price at an extremely high level. Too high for you, I'm afraid. I'd rather not. I would, however, gladly negotiate with that patrician friend of yours. Her vineyard has risen to quite a bit of fame over these past few years. The chance to make a competitor go bankrupt. Now, that is valuable to me. I have both money and time. Salve, Legate. I hope you have been informed as to the nature of our potential transaction. Good. That will save us time. For this transaction, I will need a relatively hefty fee due to the sentimental value of the commodity. I'm thinking I can be persuaded to part with Lucia, the sewer in question, in exchange for, say, half your vineyards. How does that sound?
What? That is insane! It's not a fair price for anything! Surely you won't go ahead with this, Legate.
It's called negotiation. Of course you are free to make a counteroffer, but I should remind you, as the owner of the object of desire, I have the advantage in this game.
The price you demand is excessive. Demanding an overwhelmingly high price for a commodity of a certain value is illegal.
Now, if you believe the law is on your side, you can take this to the Senate. Otherwise, I have made my offer. I see. And let me guess. The easy way is I just hand over my valuable assets to you for nothing, and the hard way is what? You attack me in my own villa?
Certainly not. That would lower us to his level. We're not criminals. You can't wash dirt using dirt.
How do you even know about my side business? You certainly wouldn't dare.
To be honest, I don't really know if she is telling the truth. But I know for sure that she would dare.
Very well, take the girls. Just leave me alone. I never want to see you again.
Likewise. You didn't actually have any evidence against him, did you? You made me partner to your crime. He who doesn't stop a crime is equally at fault.
Please don't be so harsh on yourselves, Dominique. You've saved my life today. And the life of my daughter.
I hope you're right, Lucia. Go pick your girl up and take her to my friend's villa.
As you wish, Dominos.
Just Kaiso, please. Thank you for being here for me.
Excuse me.
I've taken care of the payment. There's just one more matter we need to address. Secundus himself. An interesting decision. I will see to it that he's trained properly. Reasonably well, I think, under the circumstances. I have put the woman to work in the kitchen to distract her from her worries, but we are starting her out slowly. I may begin tutoring the girl when she's old enough, but let's see if I'll have time for that.
I've already started the wedding preparations. Cato is such a fine young man. You've done so well for yourself. I could hardly have chosen better myself. Everyone respects Senator Cato. I'm sure he'll be consul one day.